The more you try to save money, the poorer you become. And if you think that sounds crazy, wait until you hear about the guy who got richer by going into debt, or the woman who saved thousands by spending more money. But here's the thing. These aren't mistakes or glitches in the system. These are actual psychological paradoxes that control how money works in the real world. And once you understand these 7 mind-bending paradoxes, you'll never think about money the same way again. Meet Saver Sam. He puts $500 every month into his savings account. He's being responsible, right? After 10 years, Sam has $50,000. Not bad, but meet investor Mike. He also saves $500 a month. But he invests it instead. After 10 years, Mike has $85,000. This is the saving paradox. The act of safely saving money actually makes you poorer over time, because inflation eats away at your purchasing power while investments grow faster than inflation. Sam thought he was playing it safe, but he was actually losing money every single day. Here's the crazy part. If Sam had just put that same money into a basic S&P 500 index fund, he would have made an extra $35,000 without doing any extra work. That's more than half a year's salary for most people, just sitting there waiting to be claimed. But Sam was too scared of risk to take the safest long-term bet in financial history. Sarah has $300,000 cash and buys a house outright. No debt, no stress, right? But meanwhile, Mike takes out a $250,000 mortgage and invests his $300,000 in the stock market. 5 years later, Sarah still has her house worth $400,000. Mike has his house worth $400,000 plus $500,000 in investments. Mike used debt to get richer. This is leverage. When you borrow money at 4% but invest it at 8%, you're literally using other people's money to build wealth. Good debt makes you richer. No debt keeps you poor. The key is understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt puts money in your pocket. Bad debt takes money out of your pocket. Think about it this way. Every month, Sarah owns her house completely, but Mike owns his house and has an extra $500,000 working for him. Mike's mortgage payment is basically paying him to get richer. Sarah's free and clear house is actually costing her opportunity. The bank is essentially paying Mike to borrow their money because he's making more with it than they're charging him for it. Jenny spends $300 on a fancy coffee machine. Her friend Lisa calls her crazy. I'll just buy my $5 coffee every day like a normal person. 1 year later, Jenny spent $300 total. Lisa spent $1,825. Jenny saved money by spending more money up front. This is the spending paradox. Sometimes spending more money initially saves you massive amounts long term. It's about cost per use, not just upfront cost. Rich people understand this. They buy quality once instead of cheap things multiple times. Your wallet will thank you later. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Lisa didn't just spend more money. She also wasted 365 trips to the coffee shop. That's roughly 6 hours of her life spent in lines, driving, waiting. If Lisa values her time at even $20 an hour, she lost another $120 in opportunity cost. So Jenny didn't just save $1,525 in cash, she saved herself 6 hours of life. Time she could spend making more money, spending with family, or literally doing anything else. Tom plays it safe, keeps everything in savings accounts. I don't want to lose money. Meanwhile, his risky friend invested in the stock market 30 years ago. 30 years later, Tom's safe money lost 60% of its buying power to inflation. His friend's risky investments grew 1,000%. Playing it safe was actually the riskiest move. The risk paradox shows us that not taking investment risk is actually the biggest risk of all. Inflation is guaranteed. Market growth, historically, beats inflation. The safest long-term strategy is actually the one that feels scary in the short term. Tom thought he was being conservative, but he was actually gambling with his future. He bet that inflation wouldn't exist, that prices wouldn't rise, that his money would maintain its value forever. That's not conservative, that's delusional. His friend made the truly conservative choice. He bet on human innovation, productivity, and economic growth. And guess what? Humans kept innovating, companies kept growing, and the economy kept expanding, just like it has for the past 200 years. Meet Simple Steve. Buys index funds, never checks the news, invests the same amount every month. Pretty boring, right? Then there's expert Emma, MBA in finance, reads every market report, trades daily based on the latest analysis after 10 years. Steve beat Emma by 3% annually. The guy who knew nothing beat the expert. This is the knowledge paradox. More information often leads to worse decisions because it creates overconfidence and analysis paralysis. Sometimes ignorance is bliss and profitable. The best investment strategy is often the most boring one. Emma's problem wasn't that she was stupid. It's that she was too smart for her own good. She overthought every decision, second-guessed every move, and let emotions drive her choices. Steve just automated his investments and forgot about them. While Emma was stressing about daily market movements, Steve was living his life. And ironically, living his life made him richer than obsessing over money ever could. Marcus gets promoted. Salary jumps from $60,000 to $100,000. Time to celebrate. More money, better life, right? But with his new lifestyle, Marcus is now spending $105,000 a year. He makes more money, but has less money than before. The income paradox. Higher income can make you broker if your expenses grow faster than your income. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. Every time your income increases, your expenses want to increase even more. Don't let them. Marcus fell into the lifestyle inflation trap. New salary meant new apartment, new car, new restaurants, new clothes. Before he knew it, his expenses had grown faster than his income. He was making 67% more money, but somehow had less in his bank account every month. The promotion that was supposed to improve his life actually made it more stressful. Rachel creates the perfect budget, every dollar accounted for, $50 for entertainment, $200 for groceries, $100 for clothes. She's got this. But by month 3, Rachel goes on a shopping spree and blows $500 in one day. Her strict budget led to a spending explosion. This is the budgeting paradox. Overly restrictive budgets trigger psychological reactance. Our brain rebels against too much control. It's like extreme dieting leading to binge eating. The best budget is one you can actually stick to, not the most perfect one on paper. Rachel's budget was mathematically perfect, but psychologically impossible. She tried to control every dollar, so her brain rebelled, and she lost control completely. A better approach? Give yourself permission to spend money on things you enjoy. Just set reasonable limits. Budgets should feel like guardrails, not prison bars. So there you have it. 7 money paradoxes that flip everything you thought you knew about finance upside down. Money doesn't follow logic. It follows psychology. And once you understand these psychological patterns, you can use them to your advantage instead of falling victim to them. If this blew your mind, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which paradox surprised you the most.